Market report is in for March 2024. Today we are going to break it down for you, take a look at what's happened year over year, month over month, and show you what the average prices are moving throughout the Greater Toronto Area. My name is Mike Carpino. If you want to book a call and talk real estate with me in the Greater Toronto Area, click the first link in the description box. It is my Calendly link. I'd be happy to discuss your personal real estate journey, whether you're in the GTA or directly in Toronto. Feel free to reach out to me and we can get you started on your journey. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to go over the March press release. Feel free to pause the video, read it yourself, but I will read it myself here for anybody who just wants to listen along. So the GTA Realtors March 2024 stats. So March 2024 home sales reported through TREB MLS were lower than in March 2023, resulting due to a Good Friday falling in March instead of April versus this year. Despite a better supplied market compared to last year, there was enough competition between buyers to see a moderate increase in the average March home price compared to last year's level. Greater Toronto Area Realtor reported 6,560 sales through TREB's MLS system in March, down 4.5% compared to the previous March 2023. New listings were up by 15% over the same period of time on a seasonally adjusted monthly basis. Sales were down 1.1%, but new listings were also down 3% compared to February. The first quarter ended with sales up 11.2% year over year. New listings were up by a greater annual rate of 18.3%. We've seen a gradual improvement in market conditions over the past quarter. More buyers have adjusted to the higher interest rate environment. At the same time, some homeowners may be anticipating an improvement in market conditions in the spring, which helps explain the market's increase in new listings so far this year. Assuming we benefit from lower borrowing costs in the near future, sales will increase further, new listings will be absorbed, and the tighter marketing conditions will see prices push higher, says the president, Jennifer Pierce. The MLS Home Price Index, so the HPI composite benchmark, was up 0.3% year over year. The average selling price was up 1.3%. So we saw an increase up to $1,121,000 as your average home price on a seasonally adjusted monthly basis. The composite was only up 0.2%. The average selling price was up 0.7% compared to February. The average selling price edged up in comparison to last year as we moved through the first quarter of 2024. Price growth is expected to accelerate during the spring and even more so in the second half of the year. As the sales growth catches up with listings growing, the seller market conditions start to emerge in many neighborhoods. Lower borrowing costs in the months ahead will help fuel demand of home ownership, says the chief analyst Jason Mercer. As demand for ownership and rental housing increases, the supply will continue to be top of mind. Governments at all levels must maintain their focus on pursuing innovative solutions to increase the amount and mixture of housing that is affordable. This includes removing roadblocks of non-traditional arrangements, such as co-ownership models to benefit home buyers, including first-time buyers and seniors, and encouraging gentle density, including multiplexes. It is critical to help high demand in the Golden Horseshoe to meet with housing supplies, says the TREB CEO, John Di Michele. Now, I know the press release can be kind of boring, so if you pause the video and you read it through yourself, that's great. Now, what I really want to show you is some of the numbers year over year and where we're standing. So if we're looking at a new listings perspective, we saw in 2024 March 13,120 new listings. In the same time period last year, we saw just over 11,000. So we saw an increase of 2,000 new listings hit the market, which means to me, sellers are thinking about moving more and they're more willing to put their home on the market with more certainty, at least this year. From a sales perspective, last year this time we actually had a 4.5% higher sales rate than we did last month. So we had 6,500 sales this past month, and then last year, same time, we had 6,800 active listings. As we know, we had this increase in new listings, so we're going to have a surplus here in active listings, especially since we're not selling as many units. So the active listings currently is at 12,459. Last year, at the same time, it was only at 10,000 active listings. So we have a surplus of about 20% active listings year over year. And the average price, we're slightly up. 1.3% is not huge. It doesn't keep up with inflation, that's for sure. Average home price is $1,121,000. This is across the Greater Toronto Area. Average last year, $1,107,000. So very, very similar numbers, a 1% difference. And when it comes to the days on market, we're within a day. So last year it was about 19 days was the average amount of time it would take you to sell a home. This year we're talking about 20 days. So very much the same. Now, next thing I want to look at is this chart here called sales and the average price. So the major home types. We're going to look at Toronto first, and that's the 416 category here. So there was 647 sales in Toronto that were of the detached variety last month, and the average price there was $1,700,000. The average semi was 1.3. The average townhouse was at $999. The average condo at $729. So these are all pretty stable numbers. And as you'll see on the next column in that 905 section, they are higher than all of the totals outside of the GTA. So the 905 average for a detached home was 1.396, $1,010,000 for your average semi in the 905 postal code. Townhouse, 925 was your average. And then your average condo outside of Toronto is going to run you $646,000. When you're looking at all of these numbers here, it's important to know the data that we're looking at. So you're looking at large sample sizes for things like condos in Toronto. You've got 1,186 condos that sold in Toronto last month, $729,000 being the average price point. So you've got a really large sample size there. And then some categories, you've got a very small sample size. And sample size in semi-detached, for example, you got 222 units averaging at a $1.3 million price point. But if you added another 20 or 30 units, that price can change substantially. So you need to keep these factors in mind when you're looking at the actual prices and the averages that are happening across the board. Now, this is just a quick market snapshot for you. If you want a more specific video, feel free to click on any of the other playlists here to learn more about condos, townhouses, detached, semi-detached, or condo townhouses specifically in your market. But what we're seeing across the board in the GTA is that the market is slightly slower than it was last year. However, when we dive deep into the numbers, a lot of these areas, and we'll use Brampton as an example, in every single category of housing, things are selling above asking price. So we need to really hone in on the area we are looking to invest or buy something and figure out what's happening in that specific area. Obviously, being up year over year is nice to see, knowing that we have a lot of pent-up aggression from buyers who are just waiting for that interest rate announcement to happen where we finally see a reduction. And I think it is at this point a kettle that's just boiling and boiling and boiling until we do get this interest rate reduction. I don't think we're going to see the reduction anytime soon, possibly in the summertime. But if we do hit that reduction, expect that the market will just take a little bit of a skyrocket for a short period of time while people get it out of their system. Now, ultimately, it always comes down to the same question. Is it a good time to buy real estate right now? Yes, it is. And no, it's not. It ultimately depends on your specific situation. If you're looking to invest in something, or if you have a specific area you're looking to move, consider what's happening in that specific area. If you're looking to invest and you don't want to be stuck in multiple offers when the interest rates do lower, this might be your good opportunity because you'll have better leverage. If you want to wait to see what the Bank of Canada does for the next 6 months, then maybe it's not a good time for you to buy. Ultimately, look at your situation, figure out what makes sense, hop on a call with us. We can definitely let you know if things make sense for you in your specific situation to make a move in this particular market. Understanding the numbers is just a small portion of what is needed when it comes to getting in the real estate market. I hope you found this snapshot insightful. If you want more information, drop me a comment in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to make you a personal video on your specific question. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.